Hey Soccerlanders! Today is a special day. Today we're talking about soccer, but more specifically formations. I'm gonna explain formations to complete beginners of the game who doesn't really know the details, who doesn't really know what is formation, how players move around the pitch so that they can win games, etc, etc, etc. But this is also really cool video for me to do because as I was actually preparing formations right here, actually, this is like one of the examples we're gonna talk about. I was like giggling and like I was being a kid again, playing around with this board. It was so much fun, and I had a lot of fun doing it, so I cannot wait to share with you guys and talk about formations. Let's get started. Okay, so here we have a formation called 4-4-2. So right now what you see is a football pitch, and what you have is 11 players in the field. This is all your team, the team you support. So there's 11 of you guys and then 11 of other people, other people's team, but they also have either same formation or it can be different formation, and we will get to explore different formations as well. There's actually like more than 30 or even more than that actually formations that you can come up with, to be honest, but there are popular ones, and we'll get to talk about a few of those popular ones today in this video. And again, this first formation is called 4-4-2, and the reason why it's 4-4-2 is because if you guys watched my last video where we talked about who are the players, what are their roles in the field, it all comes down to 4 different types of players, right? So it's goalkeeper, defenders, midfielders, and strikers, right? So defenders and the goalkeeper are at the back of the field, right? They're at the back trying to defend your goals, right? And then these players are more about going and attacking. These 4 players are called midfielders because they can go to attack or defend. We start with a position called left back, and the reason it's left back is because he is at the back and he's on the left side of the field, right? And then there goes center backs, and then there's a right back. This is sort of adding to my last video actually. Right now we're still talking about the positions of the players, but as we move towards the explanation of the formation, so here's what's happening. So basically this is the most standard formation because it's self-explanatory, right? Like we have people who are defending, people who these are called central midfielders, which usually they try to help when there's a defense happening, when other team is attacking your team, then these 2 players go back here, right, to help the defenders. These players also can go back and help. So that's why it's called midfielders, right? They're sort of like hybrids, put it simply. And then these strikers are usually still, you know, it depends on the game, but and the instructions of the coach, they might come back, but at least one of them, they should be on the lookout to strike anyway, right? If these players kick out the ball towards the other opponent's side, like this player and this player, they should be like trying to like get the ball and like go and attack, right? So these are strikers, they don't have to defend, and these midfielders, poor guys, they always have to run somewhere, either here or there. Oh, I erased it. But yeah, so this is how soccer works when it comes to this formation. And I remember how when I was introduced to soccer back in 2008, or even earlier actually, through FIFA games, so the most common formation at the time was 4-4-2, and now it's not like that anymore. This is not the most common formation, but this is still the most simple formation to explain the game on. This is 4-4-2. Next formation is called 4-3-3, which is actually pretty similar to what we had already, but what's changing is the amount of strikers and the amount of midfielders. So before, when it was 4 midfielders, now it turned to 3 midfielders, and it turned to 3 strikers. So that's why it's like the numbers represent the amount of each type of players, right? So it was 4-4-2, now it's 4-3-3. Got it? So that's how it works. And what's a little bit different about this formation than the first one is that this player, this becomes a defensive midfielder. So before, in our formation 4-4-2, we had two players in the middle who are always going up or down, if you guys remember. But now, this player, yes, he's still midfielder, but he's more inclined towards defense. He's gonna be here, and he's gonna be giving that first pass to attack. But he's not gonna be here or like attacking. Like his role is still to control the midfield in the middle. He's not gonna be like attacking. The attacking guys will be these ones. So that's the one sort of change in this type of play. And then the 3 strikers, here you have probably the most brilliant attackers, most like flamboyant players like Neymar on the left side, or it could be Cristiano Ronaldo on the left side in his prime years in Manchester United and Real Madrid, or it could be Lionel Messi right here, right? So I'm just naming the most popular guys. You might have heard of them, you know, because they're way too popular. And then here we have like a striker, right, who is targeting the other person's goal. Not this goal, because this is our team, but this goal on this side. So he's targeting that, he wants to score the goal. This guy, one example I would give is Karim Benzema from Real Madrid, for example. And there's many more legendary strikers like Brazilian Ronaldo and so on. Right now, actually, the reason why I'm mentioning Barcelona and Real Madrid players is because this formation is always used by Real Madrid and Barcelona. Like, this is their default formation. They always go for this, except for, I mean, there are exceptions sometimes, yes, but it's always been this formation. This is their classic formation for both Spanish giants, Barcelona and Real Madrid. The jerseys that I have right here. It's interesting, like they play similar style when it comes to the formation, but the way they play in the field is a bit different. Barcelona was always about like controlling the ball, like having a lot of passes between each other, creating, at the time when Barcelona was better than right now, and the moment I'm recording this video, like their prime years back in 2010s. So they actually was called by other people as like they have this brilliant, very beautiful type of game, like they wanted to create a show. So their combinations were incredible. Real Madrid was a bit more counter-attacking, which is like, if Barcelona always have the ball, if Barcelona always was controlling the ball, passing to each other, like try to never give the ball to the other team, and was able to like control most of the game, the ball was always around them. It was expected at the time. Real Madrid had to do something against that because they were so brilliant in like holding the ball and not losing it. So they had to do something against that, right? So Real Madrid was playing brilliant counter-attacking football, which is like Real Madrid had to wait. Real Madrid is like waiting, playing the waiting game, and then once up, like they caught the ball, and now they go. This, imagine if this is Real Madrid right here. This is Barcelona. Real Madrid's players now, like they caught the ball. Now they're like, okay, we're running towards you guys fast, and we're like, while you guys were attacking, you guys are here. Now your guys are vulnerable because we only have, Barcelona at the time, let's say, had only like 3-4 plays left because they were attacking, controlling the ball, and then suddenly Real Madrid caught the ball and then like going fast towards the goalkeeper, trying to score a goal, right? While there was a lot of space while they were all like over there. So Real Madrid was playing counter-attacking game like that, so it was interesting to watch that dynamic. Real Madrid, I would still say that even at the moment right now, today, is still probably strongest counter-attacking team in the world. Like their counter-attacking skills are incredible. Even if I'm a Barcelona fan, actually, I must admit I'm a Barcelona fan, but Real Madrid's dominance in the game, in the history of this game, Real Madrid being the best club in the history of this game, you know, they just have that they have that willpower, strength, the courage, the charisma. They just never give up. Right now, in soccer, I would say Real Madrid is in a better shape, is a better team right now than Barcelona, but I mean, of course, I hope that will change. But yeah, over the last 5 to 6 years now, Real Madrid is even actually 8. Oh my god, it's been 8 years now. Oh man, 8 years since Barcelona won Champions League last time in 2015. Right now it's 2023. I'm recording this video. But anyway, since those last 8 years, Real Madrid was able to win the most prestigious trophy in entire soccer for 5 times. I believe they won it 5 times in those 8 years. That's unbelievable numbers. Barcelona didn't win once when it comes to the most prestigious European competition, Champions League. But anyway, I think I'm going a bit far. Let's just stay with the formations, right? So we have also formation called 4-2-3-1. So what it is basically one striker at the top, 4-2-3-1, one striker at the top, and then we have 2 defensive midfielders and then 3 attacking midfielders. Okay, so this is how it goes. So this is now different. But here we have defensive midfielders, like that one person who was there in the triangle shape. Now there's 2 of them. There are 2 of them. Imagine. So they're both doing the same job. Yes. So, but the reason they need 2 people is because there, instead of 3 attackers at the top, there's now 4 attackers at the top. So that's why we need to add one more defensive midfielder to keep things on the defensive side a bit more strong, right? So there's 6 players defending, and these 4 players are like, now, okay, we need to do something, we need to create attack, right? And then these 4 players also are, when it comes to the top teams at least, they're incredible. They're, again, flamboyant, right? Like they can dribble, they can strike, I mean score, do cool things, run fast, right? So these players are the most interesting to watch. But of course, when I'm talking about them, like, these players should not be forgotten. I mean, defenders are incredible as well, and every single player in this field have its own duty and have something to be admired about them. Every single position offers incredible things in the soccer field. And of course, we will get to talk about defenders in the other videos as well, and even here a little bit we will talk about defenders. But right now my main focus is on the attackers, because that's where right now the formations are changing, right? Because all 3 formations I said, there were 4 defenders, right? So that didn't change. But anyway, so what we have here is like a star or something, right? On top. And 2 defensive midfielders, 4 defenders, and then this is called a person who is under striker. He's located under striker, but he's like an attacking midfielder. It's called central attacking midfielder, CAM. He is also really interesting to watch in the game. Talented players like Ricardo Kaká. So Kaká was incredible in this position. Kaká was brilliant, and I mean, there were more players obviously in this role. I actually wanted to bring an example of modern teams who play under this formation. This is one of the most popular formations to this day to play. Bayern Munich, for example, from Germany, they always play with this formation as well. This is their default formation. Manchester City, well, okay, Manchester City's coach Pep Guardiola is crazy. He always changes formations. He's like a he's a freak. Like in one season he might play like with 15 or 20 different formations. But I would say like over the years, most common one was 4-2-3-1 for Manchester City, and also Chelsea back in, I would say, 2010s, like the first 5 years of 2010s. So it's like from 2010 to 2015, Chelsea really liked to play with 4-2-3-1 formation. So this is a formation called 3-5-2, and the example I'm going to use is again Chelsea, because back in season 2016-2017, Antonio Conte, who was at the time new coach of Chelsea Football Club, he decided to switch the typical 4-2-3-1, and he decided to put, instead of 4 defenders, he used 3 defenders. But his thing was, he wanted to have 2 strikers, and he wanted to have still plenty of midfielders, and he wanted to have, like, at the convenient moment, he wanted to have 5 defenders. When he was defending, he wanted to have like a whole block of defenders, right? 5 defenders defending the goal. And then when Chelsea was attacking, he wanted to have them go and attack. So these 2 players were vital, and that was crazy to me when he was implementing it at Chelsea, and because I haven't really seen that at least that much, especially in big teams, in top teams like Chelsea. So he did that, and well, my mind was blown. It was like, oh my god, this is genius. It's like, okay, yes, these 2 players were always like tired, probably like running back and forth all the time, but these 2 players were essential. And at the time, it was this left back player called, his name was Marcos Alonso, and he still plays for Barcelona right now, actually. But here we have Victor Moses, who is nowhere to be found right now in modern football. But back then in 2016, 2017, these 2 players, they became like an overnight sensation. Like, these 2 players were mediocre players, average players. But, you know, Antonio Conte made them superstars at that season, because, wow, like, people were like amazed by Marcos Alonso's performance. They were amazed by Victor Moses' performance, the way they were able to like attack efficiently, helping strikers, helping midfielders right here, and to be able to defend well, coming back and helping these guys all games, all day long, you know. It was impressive, and I really liked this formation, and the way the ball was moving around, the way Chelsea was structured, the way Chelsea was playing was really, really cool and interesting with this formation. And I'm not saying that, okay, this formation is the best. There's no really a best formation in football. It all depends on what type of players you have in your team and how you can utilize them in the best way possible. That's why it's also fun, like, to find out the traits that your players have as a coach. And okay, well, is it gonna be 4-4-2, or is it gonna be 4-5-1, or is it gonna be 4-3-3? Like, what kind of formation I can use to these guys? And Antonio Conte like thought and decided, 3-5-2, you know, like so this is what he decided. So it was fun, like, and he was innovative. And well, actually, I believe he did use this at Juventus as well, but seeing it in Chelsea, it was new, because in England not many people were playing with this formation. I think in Italy, at Juventus, and Antonio Conte was Italian. I mean, why I'm saying it still is. I mean, he's still alive. But seeing this in England was special. But right now, it's not really like innovation anymore. You know, there are teams who does use this formation in England as well. But yeah, he was the innovator, I guess, in that sense. It blew my mind at the time, and it was really fun to watch. I made a mistake when it comes to the Chelsea formation, it was not 3-5-2, it was 3-4-3, and with positions like left wing back and right wing back. So what I said about Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses are true, and this is the name of their actual positions in this formation 3-4-3. But that's the correction I wanted to make, and as a proof I attached the image of Chelsea's formation from that year, so you can see that it was correct. So the last formation I'm going to talk about is pretty much the inverted formation of this formation. So if we talked about 3-5-2, now we're going to talk about 5-3-2, which is basically the same thing, but the start is like right here. So the main difference between 3-5-2 and 5-3-2 is that in 3-5-2 these players are a bit more inclined towards attacking, but in 5-3-2 they start here. What they do is they go up a little bit less often than in 3-5-2. At least that's what my understanding is. Like, there's a bit more to the game than just formation. In this formation, people have different roles, and it's not just about central backs. Oh, I'm gonna be center back, or I'm gonna be midfielder. There's still more things that a soccer player is always thinking about on the field, you know, because they are playing against 11 other players who are trying to do the same schemes and or different type of formations, trying to outsmart the other team, right? So they have always things to think about when they're playing the game. But yeah, so in my opinion, that's the main difference between 3-5-2 and 5-3-2. But I just wanted to show that pretty much the same thing, you might think, but these two formations are two different formations that are labeled like that, 3-5-2 and 5-3-2. And there was actually, when I was showing 4-3-3, I forgot to mention that you can also call it 4-5-1 if you wanted to, or move around the midfielders in a way where the defensive midfielder is not a defensive midfielder anymore, but he's like an actual midfielder, and like make it 4-5-1. But anyway, it's just so you can be cooking this game of soccer in multiple ways, you know what I mean? So it has different flavors, and that's what's awesome about it. The example I'm going to be giving here with 5-3-2 is country teams now. So not clubs, not European clubs, but national teams. So back in 2002, Brazil won the World Cup by playing this way. They had 5 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 strikers. I mean, they had incredible players like Roberto Carlos at the left back, legendary player Roberto Carlos. You should Google Roberto Carlos' incredible twisted goals, curved goals. He was breaking the laws of physics, this man, Roberto Carlos. Like, definitely check it out on YouTube. His goals, like the way he was shooting the ball, it was like 𝗔𝗯liche𝗰𝗰𝗲𝗍𝗹 or something. It's like, what's going on there? Also, there was Ronaldinho. I think Ronaldinho was playing here. The guys were crazy. Ronaldo, the striker. So yeah, this was my explanation of formations, and I hope you guys had a good time listening to it, and I hope you guys tune into the next videos. It's only getting more interesting from here. I was able to finally talk about soccer like in depth and show you guys my knowledge, what I know about like the actual game, actual teams, actual players, and I know a lot, and I really want to share with you guys. So it's gonna be fun. And that's it for us in this video. Thank you so much for making it till the end. If you made it till the end, please let me know in the comments below. Just write #end, and yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next videos. Subscribe to this channel to not miss more videos like this. We're gonna have a blast in the future. It's gonna be only more interesting from here on, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next ones. Bye bye.